WBUR podcast, Boston.
This is Up Next. I'm Tiziana Deering. Hank Phillippi Ryan was a voice in Boston households for more than 40 years as an investigative journalist and an anchor on Channel 7.
Big bucks owed to Boston by big local businesses. So Hank stepped in.
Why haven't you paid the bill?
And she got money back. Lots of it.
Now she's well into her next act as an award-winning fiction writer, and Boston connects the chapters, both of her life and her books. With her 17th mystery coming out this fall, she joins us now. Hank, welcome.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here. So much fun to hear that promo. It sounds so interesting.
Well, and it's from a different era of news, too, right? And this is honestly a big part of why I was excited to talk to you, right? Is this arc of when you started in your career and how we find we're in this next act. I want to know about the moment in your head where you say, I've got more than 30 Emmys as a journalist, and you know what? I'm going to write novels.
My husband and I don't celebrate the anniversary of the day we met. We celebrate the anniversary of the day before we met. And we call it You Never Know Day, because you never know what wonderful thing is around the next corner. And that is exactly what happened with writing crime fiction. I was at Channel 7 on a research day, and I opened a spam by mistake. And it said, a new refinancing deal for you. And in the body of the email were lines from a play by Shakespeare, it looked like. I was a Shakespeare major.
I did not see that coming.
I know. I didn't either. That's exactly what happened. I thought, why would somebody put lines from a Shakespearean play in a spam about mortgage refinancing? And my brain said to me, maybe it's a secret message. And I thought, secret messages in computer spam? Are you kidding me? That's a great idea for a novel. And I went home and I said to my husband, sweetheart, I've got a great idea for a novel. I'm going to write a mystery. And Jonathan, who's so supportive, Jonathan says, great, honey. He says, do you know how to write a book? And I said to him, I remember this profoundly. I said, how hard can it be? I've read 1 million books. And I soon learned how hard it could be. But that became Primetime, my first novel, which won the Agatha.
In reading about, your work and your writing, Hank, for this, I've seen you say a few different times that people from your journalism stories don't make the characters in your book. But one of the things that I noticed in reading the one that's coming out this fall is that Boston is. So tell me about Boston, this choice that Boston is a character in your books.
It emerged almost unbidden. I mean, I love Boston. I remember the first day I came to Boston was for a job offer at Channel 7.
Because you're from Indiana originally.
I grew up in Indiana, in really rural Indiana. I came to Boston, and it was one of those days that I think I was at the Parker House, and the sky was that Boston pristine blue, and I could smell the briny ocean scent from the harbor. We don't have that in Indiana. And I thought, this is the place for me. This is where I want to be. I thought about the people whose footsteps had been on the same places that mine were now. I fell in love with it absolutely instantly. And then as a reporter, when I got to go everywhere in town, it's about the people. It's about the neighborhoods and how we who have been in Boston for a long time know how to order a Dunkin's regular. And we know that the air conditioner at number 9 Park will drip condensation on your head as you walk to the State House. So that feeling of neighborhoods, that feeling of community, whether it's a broken community or whether it's a unified community, comes through so beautifully in Boston.
You have talked about getting your career started in journalism. You were very young. It's 1970. You go in for the job. The person who's going to hire you says, you have no experience. Why would I hire you? And you say, because your FCC review is up and you don't have any women on staff. And you've gone on to say that in the early 70s in journalism, many women got hired because they were women and then couldn't keep their jobs because they were women, because it was such a hostile time for women trying to break through in various careers.
On my first day as a radio reporter, I was so thrilled to be hired, and I knew I was hired because I was a woman, but the EEO laws were new, and we were smart enough to take advantage of that, of course. And when I came into work on my first day, we had typewriters, and in the roller of my typewriter was a little pink, one of those while you are out notices. And typed on the back of it was an expletive, you, Hank, it said, we don't want you here. I still have that pink piece of paper. That was my welcome to journalism. And I thought, you're not going to scare me away from this. I'm going to love this job. I'm going to do a great job. Watch me.
I wonder then, after I read that and in hearing that really striking moment, I mean, a lot of women would have walked out. And yet there were a lot of women, I think of, colleague here, Robin Young, who also came through journalism at that time, who didn't, who stayed. And I wonder if some of that mettle, mettle, is deliberately in the women you write in these books.
If there's a Hank DNA to books, it's about a smart, savvy woman who gets the rug pulled out from her in some way.
Yeah.
And she needs to work to get her power back. My books are all about empowerment and the search for truth and the search for justice. But mostly they're about fairness. They're about how when something unfair happens, how women have a special power to pull themselves back and to regain their equilibrium and to go forward even stronger.
Hank Phillippi Ryan, award-winning author and reporter. Ryan's upcoming psychological thriller, Mother, Daughter, Sister, Stranger, comes out September 1st and is available for pre-order now. Hank, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you for all you do.